Hi, this is Deanne Mary, and the first resource that I'd like to use for our 5 new tech resources would be Read, Write, Think. It's put out by NCTE, or the National Council of Teachers of English, and it's one that I used frequently when I taught both middle school and high school. They have a lot of great, as you can see here from the screen, I'm going to kind of try to point these out as I go. Classroom resources, professional development resources, videos, which is a new area, and parent and after-school resources that can be used for not only students. Obviously, I use them primarily for students, but also for teachers and for parents as well. I primarily use mine for students and to share with other colleagues that they could use in their classrooms. I know when I was at the middle school level, my co-teacher across the hall from me, her and I often used and shared resources and created lesson plans together. One of the features that I especially like about Read, Write, and Think is they have a combination of lesson plans. They have mobile apps now. I haven't used the mobile apps, but their lesson plans are designed not only that are already created for you, but that you can go in and also work with entire units. You can use those which are designed for weeks, a month, or you can even cut those down and use them for whatever time length you may want. The other feature that I really truly liked about Read, Write, Think is that they have all of their units divided by grade levels. As you can see, you can go from kindergarten all the way up to 11th and 12th. I've spent most of my educational career teaching high school, and especially in the upper grades, sometimes it's difficult to find resources that when you go out and you just look for language arts or English, sometimes it's difficult to find things simply tailored for those upper grades. And when you go in, sometimes you're looking for any particular topic. I found on this site one that as you can see here, they have poems, they have trading cards, they have how to help a child write a poem. I noticed when I went into and I clicked on 11th and 12th, they actually have Venn diagrams, they have science and technology, they work with some other programs as well, readers theater, controversial issues. As you work through, there's crossword puzzles. I like this because you can go through all types of interactives. When you click, this may say K-12, when you actually click on like Venn diagramming and you give it a moment to load, if you were to it'll actually break down all the lesson plans into the grade levels. So when you're looking at a unit or a lesson plan within that particular topic, you will see that those lesson plans are truly tailored toward those grade levels. You're not going to see, like these may be K2 in this particular topic, but as you keep going, you will see they will continue. You may have different activities that continue to get more challenging, more difficult for different grade levels. I ran across one in here that, as they talked about the topic, and you got into, it was under one of the lesson plans, they had one, let's see if I can go back here, that was already designed, and when I was looking through the skill levels, it looked reasonable for the younger grades, and when you got more into the upper grades, you could definitely tell by the selections on literature and the selections on the actual critical thinking skills that the high schoolers would definitely be more engaged than someone in a kindergarten or first grade class. They would not be reading, the particular Shakespeare, or they would not be reading the different novels and working with, the advanced thinking skills that they had designed into those lesson plans at the 11th and 12th grade level. So they've thought through these, and they have lesson plans that, as I mentioned earlier, entire units that can last for weeks, or that they can last for as short a time as you may want it to. So when you click on, like, this is an exploration of Romanticism through art and poetry for 9th through 12th grades, since I'm more familiar with high school. And it does actually give you 8 50-minute lessons. And if you don't choose to go that long, you can tailor this down. So you get a preview, you get a look at standards, so that you can actually, and it's the NCTE standards, or the National Standards for Language Arts. They give you resources and preparation, so that you can simply click on all the various printouts that you will need, and they're in a nice, easy format that it's very, very, and it does credit the source, which especially I know every grade level, but especially in high school, we work hard in middle school and high school at getting students to always credit their sources. And these are very nice printables to use with your students. Then when you want to, and you can download those to use on your computer or to print with. So you have all your printables. It does give you some other websites that you can go to expand your unit, should you choose. Then you can also go to the entire instructional plan. So it gives you the different sessions, the 8 sessions. It gives you some assessment and reflections to use with your students. The objectives are here, and they're stated of what the students will do. And then it has the different sessions laid out for you, and where all of the different handouts, the printables, fit into each one of those, so that they're easily managed throughout the lessons. It also gives you some additional related resources that in the professional library here in the site that you can go to if you'd like some additional, like here's some paintings, William Carlos Williams poetry that could easily be fit into the lessons. And down here is using film as a tool in the classroom. So, and then some comments from some other teachers who have used this lesson to let you know perhaps what they've done or ideas that maybe they've had to share as feedback from their classes. So the videos here, I've looked through some of them, and they're a pretty nice length. Most of them average from anywhere from under 5 minutes to about 6 to 8 minutes to give you an idea. So they're a nice classroom length, not to be overly long, and it's just a nice web resource, professional development. It has strategy guides, a professional library. The parent and after school is again broken down into all of the different grade levels so that you can choose to use what would be most appropriate. And it's easily, just as you can tell from the website here, go back to the home page, that they give you at the top always whatever month it is. This happens to be Hispanic Heritage Month, Banned Books Week, hurricane season, since we're dealing with a lot of hurricanes at the moment, and always in the left-hand menu options, they break down the classroom resources just to, again, what they have at the top with the different categories below them. And then they have the breakdown of the grade levels. So, and then there's some community stories as well. It's a nice overall site. Teachers themselves can also contribute to this site so that it also gives you some additional resources beyond just the National Council of Teachers of English. And there's demonstrations on here as well. Frequently asked questions. So many things, and then there's some fun activities for students as well. So good overall resources. I chose this as something that I have used in the past. I've recommended to colleagues that is a useful resource. I chose the standards to go with this, the ISTE standards. First of all is the Teacher Educator 5B, the design and authentic learning activities that align with content area standards and use digital tools and resources to maximize maximize active deep learning, because it will take you in many different directions. And as you can tell, you can make this as deep as you choose to and as long a unit as you choose to, or you can simplify this depending on the need you have and how much that your students need to learn about that particular topic. I chose the TCK1. That candidate will design or facilitate diverse learning activities that incorporate digital tools and resources. And although you can use printables, there's also video resources, art. There's art that can be accessed in your videos, as I mentioned, and I think it's a good resource. Might want to check it out. In addition to just being from the National Council of Teachers of English, it does reference math and science and many of the other subject areas inside of, to be able to connect with the different literature and English skills within the different units. So something to consider as you're looking for resources for your classrooms.